questions and one decent coat. Showed up at Banff in May with hope stuck in my throat. The lake was still half frozen, kinda like my smile. Told myself I'd figure things out, give it just a while. The ice is cracking, letting go. And honestly, good riddance, snow. I've got a rhythm in my chest that says the cold was just a test. Last snow before you melt already. The mountains wanna bloom and I am ready. Shaking off the winter from my bones, turning all these questions into stepping stones. Last snow, don't need you anymore. Spring is knocking, honey, I'll get the door. A squirrel stole my granola bar at noon. A stranger waved and smiled, I thawed out soon. The light hit Banff in that ridiculous pink, and I forgot what I'd been trying not to think. You can't stay frozen at this height. The Banff sun has a way of picking fights. It lands on you like a wake-up friend, like winter was the middle, not the end. Last snow before you melt already. The mountains wanna bloom and I am ready. Shaking off the winter from my bones, turning all these questions into stepping stones. Last snow, don't need you anymore. Spring is knocking, honey, I'll get the door. I didn't come here healed, I didn't have a plan. Just boots, a one-way ticket, and a maybe I can. And snow in May up here just quietly walks away. You blink, you breathe, and suddenly it's a brand new day. Last snow before you melt already. The mountains wanna bloom and I am ready. Shaking off the winter from my bones, these questions all becoming stepping stones. Last snow, I'm not what I was before. Spring is wide open, I just walk through the door. Branches wore their blossoms out and bare. The petals dropped before I could arrive. A woman sweeps the sidewalk, doesn't care that I missed everything worth being alive. The harbor still is humming like before. The seagulls never noticed what I lost. I trace the ghost of pink along the shore and wonder what a late arrival costs. Cherry season already gone, just like you, just like you. I showed up when the bloom moved on, nothing left, nothing new. The harbor lights are coming on, beautiful, breaking through. Cherry season already gone, and so are you, and so are you. Where flower vendors pack their carts away. A couple laughs and leans against the walls. I lose the words I traveled here to say. The tide rolls in and washes out the date. I check my phone, but no one's checking mine. The whole sky burns a shade of something late, like us and never learned to read the signs. Cherry season already gone, just like you, just like you. I showed up when the bloom moved on, nothing left, nothing new. The harbor lights are coming on, beautiful, breaking through. Cherry season already gone, and so are you, and so are you. To explain why I showed up when everything had passed. Maybe arriving late into the rain is just the way some seasons get to last. Cherry season already gone, just like you, just like you. I showed up when the bloom moved on, nothing left, nothing new. The harbor lights are still turned on, they're burning just for two. Cherry season already gone, and I am almost through, and I am almost through.
My French was bad, the coffee strong, the terrace full of everyone.
I didn't know I'd stay so long, just borrowing a piece of someone's sun.
The bikes go by like punctuation
Between the lines I haven't written yet.
The city's got a strange vibration,
The kind you hum and then you can't forget.
borrowed warmth,
Borrowed noon, stayed a little past too soon.
Rue Saint Denis.
Hold me here,
I'm not missing anything, it's clear.
every corner turns to gold.
Every story
Half untold,
arrived alone.
and I don't mind. Best thing I've borrowed in a long, long time. A stranger's playlist through the wall.
A dog that trips the afternoon.
I'm nobody special here at all,
But I could fall for the city's tune.
the row house stairs go floor by floor.
Each landing holds a window full.
I didn't come here looking for this kind of ordinary beautiful. Borrowed warmth, borrowed noon, stayed a little past too soon.
Rue Saint Denis.
Hold me here,
I'm not missing anything, it's clear.
every corner turns to gold.
Every story
kind that crumble in the heat. Turns out the warmth just understands what every careful heart needs to be.
The bikes, the bread, the borrowed light,
the stranger who said bonjour twice.
I wasn't looking for this right,
but wrong was never this precise. Borrowed warmth, borrowed noon, stayed a little past too soon.
Rue Saint Denis,
I'll be back.
Something here I used to lack.
Every corner turned to gold,
every story
half untold,
arrived alone.
and I don't mind. Best thing I've borrowed in a long, long time.
The maples bloomed in bronze and red before I said a single word.
I walked the ridge at Gatineau and felt the whole park somehow heard.
The light came through the canopy
In stripes across the Meech Lakeshore.
I came here trying to feel free,
But freedom kept on asking more. The maple blushed before I did. It didn't wait, it just turned red.
while I kept every feeling hid.
Behind the careful things I said, the maple blushed before I did. The whole park knew before I knew.
The Gatineau in late May light
Was teaching me to reach for you.
The geese had sorted out their pairs.
The trilliums bloomed without a cue.
A squirrel ran across the path,
And even he seemed sure of who. I took a photo of the light. I named the birds along the way.
I did the things that people do
When there's too much they need to say. The maple blushed before I did. It didn't wait, it just turned red.
while I kept every feeling hid.
Behind the careful things I said, the maple blushed before I did. The whole park knew before I knew.
The Gatineau in late May light
Was teaching me to reach for you.
The trilliums didn't hesitate,
The robins built their nests in spring.
and here I am in late May sun.
Still scared of what a blush can bring.
The waterfall at Lusky fell.
Without a second thought or plan,
I've been here 3 days standing still.
while every tree just said,
I can.
the maple blushed before I did. It didn't draft a backup plan.
It just cracked open into color.
The way that only spring trees can. The maple blushed blushed before I did. The whole park knew before I knew.
But Gatineau is still in bloom.
And I'm blushing too.
Pay the fee, I crossed the gate. The bridge went left, the bridge went right. My sunglasses were set on straight. I told myself this feels alright. The canyon fog just stole my hair. I didn't mind, I didn't care. Between before and after, I'm the bridge. I sway a little, but I do not fall. From Capilano Canyon to the ridge, I left my heavy baggage in the hall. A stranger stopped to take my shot. You glow like someone who just won. I laughed because I hadn't thought that I'd be glowing in the sun. The cedar trees began to lean and whispered, this is what we mean. Between before and after, I'm the bridge. I sway a little, but I do not fall. From Capilano Canyon to the ridge, I left my heavy baggage in the hall. They warn me, don't you dare look down. The river caught my eye instead. I waved goodbye to the careful town and crossed towards something new ahead. Between before and after, swing with me. I sway, but honestly I love the ride. From Capilano Canyon, finally free. The girl who used to hide has stepped outside. The gates were barely open when I came. The gardener still wetting down the stone. The buds were purple, holding back their flame. And I was walking every row alone.
I kept thinking you should see this, the way the clusters lean into the light.
How everything that waited through the cold is finally deciding it's alright.
You left before the lilacs opened.
The scent of them came through the iron gate.
I called your name into the purple morning.
1 week
Too early, one heartbeat too late.
you left before the light.
Lilacs open. The whole of Hamilton turned pressed a petal flat inside my notebook
and wrote the thing I never said to you.
The purple hit like someone called the shot.
1,000 clusters blooming before noon.
I circled back 3 times along the same road.
And honestly, I'd circle back in June.
I sent the photo off to no one special,
just kept it as a little piece of proof.
the kind of spring that asked for no permission
and blooms regardless.
That's the honest truth.
You left before the lilacs open.
The garden put on quite the show for me.
100 strangers stopped along the pathways, and I became my own good company.
You left before the
lilacs open. I stayed until the afternoon went gold.
I bought a postcard from the little gift shop
and left it blank.
Some things are better untold. Here's the thing about the lilacs:
they don't negotiate with anyone.
They opened up their purple on a Tuesday,
as if to say the season had begun.
And here's the thing about this morning:
the garden didn't ask me to explain,
just handed me a fistful of the fragrance
and sent me back out into my own lane. You left before the lilacs open.
The lilacs, for their part, were not concerned.
They filled the Royal Botanical Garden
with everything that I had not yet learned. You left before the
lilacs open. I stayed for every petal, every row.
1 week too early, 1
heartbeat too late.
But darling,
now you know.
the sunflowers nodding at the flower stand, a busker's counting coins with his free hand.
Lavender bundled purple stacked up high.
The peaches aren't ready, but neither am I.
You said you'd meet me here by noon.
The clock just shrugged and changed its tune.
The pigeons got somewhere to be,
but here I am,
just me. Waiting has a smell here, cinnamon and pine.
Every vendor's hollering, but
none of them are mine. The ferry horn just laughed at me. The seagulls said goodbye.
waiting has a smell here,
and honey, so do I. A woman sells her jam in little jars. She winks and says this cherry kind heals scars.
I buy the pear,
I buy the fig,
the plum.
I'm running out of things to do. You still haven't come.
The tulips didn't wait for rain.
The sourdough sold out, what a shame.
The market's packing up its heart,
And I've been standing here since
You tracked me here from also ran. Rain, rain, real cute move, sliding in and stealing my groove. 5,000 miles, one carry on. You somehow beat me here, well done. Halifax rain, go find someone new. Did nobody tell you I moved on from you? Okay, fine, I'll sit here with this cup. Okay, fine, I know when to give up. Maybe I packed you somewhere in my bag, between my dry shampoo and all my swag. But the rain's warming now, or maybe I am Halifax spring doing all it can. Puddles on the cobblestones and I'm almost grinning. This is ridiculous, but alright, I'm winning. Rain, rain, here's the deal. You showed me something I refuse to feel. Rain, rain, here's the thing. You unlocked a door I forgot to bring. 5,000 miles to finally know some things follow you wherever you go. Halifax rain, you can stay a bit. Turns out I needed all of it. The cobblestones were warm beneath my feet. A stranger's laugh came drifting down the street. I found a square where no one knew my name, and stood there like I'd always played this game. Shoulders back, I faked it well. Heart a little hard to tell. Counted 1, 2, stepped aside. Turns out solo's quite alright. I danced alone in spring. Oh, oh, nobody had to know. I danced alone in spring. Oh, oh, and put on quite a show. I twirled between the tables and the trees. I laughed out loud and blamed it on the breeze. No partner, no apology, no plan. Just me becoming my own biggest fan. A couple watched me from the garden wall. I gave a little bow and stood up tall. The waiter clapped, the pigeons caught the groove. I had forgotten I could learn to move. No one leads, no one follows here. Turn the music up, shift the gear. Clumsy steps, but who's to say this wasn't planned since yesterday? I danced alone in spring. Oh, oh, nobody had to know. I danced alone in spring. Oh, oh, and put on quite a show. I twirled between the tables and the trees. I laughed out loud and blamed it on the breeze. No partner, no apology, no plan. Just me becoming my own biggest fan. Maybe I was always meant to lead. Maybe this is all I'll ever need. Spinning in the middle of the square with spring applauding from the open air. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, turn. That's a step they said I'd never learn. I danced alone in spring. Hey, hey, and I would do it twice. I danced alone in spring. Hey, hey, turns out it's pretty twirled until the fountain caught my eye. I blew a kiss to no one passing by. No partner, no apology, no wait, just me arriving fashionably late.
A squirrel stole a croissant from that guy. His girlfriend laughed and kissed him on the cheek. I took a photo of the open sky and asked myself why I do this each week. The pink is pretty brutal, gotta say. It blooms for two, not one who went astray. Every petal, spinning down on tangled hands. Every petal, falling where a lover stands. Hyde Park throws its pink tornado at the laughing, happy crowd. Every petal fell for someone, and I'm singing that out loud. The vendor winks and holds up a bouquet for someone special. Now that's a real joke. I bought the bunch regardless what the hey, and gave it to a grandma by the oak. She patted my hand. Honey, you'll be found. I smiled and bowed and did a little round. Every petal, spinning down on tangled hands. Every petal, falling where a lover stands. Hyde Park throws its pink tornado at the laughing, happy crowd. Every petal fell for someone, and I'm singing that out loud. The bachata's loud, I feel it in my chest. My feet already know the count of four. I'm dancing by the fountain, not impressed by anyone who's watching from the shore. Come on, somebody, grab my hand and stay. Hyde Park is burning petals anyway. Every petal, watch me catch one. Yes, I can. Every petal, pink confetti, brand new plan. Hyde Park gave me all its flowers, trading lonely for the thrill. Every petal finds its someone. Mine is dancing, always will. I showed up early, pressed my favorite shirt, rehearsed my smile until my cheekbones hurt. The seagulls circled like they had the news. I was the last to know, I had no clues. The gangway dropped, the crowd came rushing wide. I held my flowers, shifted side to side. 1, 2, 3 boats and still no sign of you. The tulips wilted and I wilted too. The ferry didn't bring you back. I dressed too nice for standing here. The spring wind gave my heart a smack.
kid beside me licked his ice cream cone and looked at me like, "Mister, you alone?" I said, "I'm waiting." He said, "Waiting's dumb." I said, "You're right," and then he shared his gum. The light turned gold, the hour getting late. I folded up my hand-drawn welcome plate. The seagulls stole my last remaining chip. I called that closure classic ferry trip. The ferry didn't bring you back. I just too nice for standing here. The spring wind gave my heart a smack and laughed into my other ear. The ferry didn't bring you back. I know, I know, I know, I know. I traded longing for a snack and watched the boats come, watch 'em go. Maybe you missed the dock, maybe you lost your way, maybe you can't read clocks, maybe you're just okay. Either way, the spring is mine. Either way, I feel just fine. Either way, the ferry blows. Either way, well, here I goes. The ferry didn't bring you back, but honey, I've got better plans. The spring showed up and cut me slack with maple trees and open hands. The ferry didn't bring you back, and maybe that's the gift you see. I traded you for one good snack, and spring kept all the best of me.
Bought a one-way ticket, left my overthinking home. Packed my sunscreen playlist and a heart I should've known. Every dock has someone waving someone else goodbye. Here I am in Kelowna, acting like I'm fine. The rosé's cold, the sky is wide, the view's 10 out of 10 and I'm so satisfied. But every perfect thing I see finds a way right back to you and me. It's warm enough to miss you, warm enough to stay. I ordered lunch for one again and gave the other plate away. The Okanagan sunshine is doing way too much. Warm enough to miss you, and I resent it just a touch. Rented out a paddleboard and fell off 2 or 3. The seagulls on the shoreline looked like they were judging me. Found a little cafe, wrote your name in latte foam, then stirred it fast before my heart could call it home. The cherry blossoms don't stay long, they fall like they were never wrong. And still the thing I cannot shake is you beside a different lake. It's warm enough to miss you, warm enough to ache. I'm sunburned on a Wednesday, for goodness sake. The vineyard rows keep winking like they know what I'm about. Warm enough to miss you, and there's no talking my way out. I made a list of reasons I'd be perfectly okay. Read it at the lakeside, then I laughed and walked away. The mountains didn't argue and the water didn't care, but the sunset brought you back to me without going anywhere. Okay, fine, I miss you. Not a little, quite a lot. The wine is cold, the view is gold, and that's the best I've got. It's warm enough to miss you, warm enough to know I'll still be thinking of you wherever I go. The Okanagan smiling at my one-person parade. Warm enough to miss you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. The hydrangeas stood like they owned the place. The garden map was useless from the start. I took a wrong turn into every space and asked a butterfly to read my chart.
The bees were busy, didn't spare a glance. A squirrel judged me hard from up above. I didn't come here looking for romance, just somewhere I could set down all this love. The garden kept your secret, not mine.
I searched behind each hedge and tangled vine.
The daisy shrugged and said they couldn't say, so I just laughed and wandered on my way.
A gardener was humming off the beat. The peacock posed like fame was his by right.
I found a bench and rested my tired feet
and wrote your name in sunlight out of spite.
The fountain cleared its throat like it had seen 1,000 fools who wandered in this way.
I fixed my hair and tried to look serene and blamed the pollen for the tears that day.
The garden kept your secret, not mine.
I searched behind each hedge and tangled vine.
The daisy shrugged and said they couldn't say, so I just laughed and wandered on my way. Every rose was minding its own business. Every path looped back to the same old gate.
I came here looking for some kind of witness,
But even the garden walls won't take the bait. The lilies didn't flinch, the ferns stayed cool. A sparrow laughed and flew off in the breeze. Turns out the garden made me look the fool and kept your secret locked behind the leaves. The garden kept your secret, not mine.
I searched behind each hedge and tangled vine.
The daisy shrugged and said they couldn't say, so I laughed,
shook the petals, walked away. I never cracked the code, I never won, but came out warm beneath the Victoria sun. The garden kept your secret to the end, and gave me back myself around the bend. Ottawa in May, the tulips overdressed. I checked in solo, mildly unimpressed. The welcome card had space for someone's name. I filled it in with mine and felt no shame. No squabbles over maps or which cafe. No compromising how to spend the day. I think I make a pretty decent date. One shadow on the Rideau, light and free. The bachata rhythms answering only me. I sway along the path beside the dock. My solo groove could stop and start a clock. I ordered crepes and gave the extra half to pigeons who appreciated my laugh. The gondola man waved, I waved right back. Apparently I'm charming, and that's a fact. The evening water turns to liquid gold. My shadow keeps a bachata rhythm bold. She follows every step I take today. One shadow on the Rideau, light and free. The bachata rhythms answering only me. I sway along the path beside the dock. My solo groove could stop and start a clock. Maybe two was always overrated. Maybe I was never really faded. Ottawa in spring just had to show. Some songs hit harder as a solo. One shadow on the Rideau, taking flight. I spin to bachata, stepping into light. I own the Canal road, I own this song. Turned out the dance was mine the whole way long. Harbour smells like salt and early June. A fishing boat is drifting through the haze. You smiled at me across the afternoon and left me standing dizzy in your gaze. I almost reached for you, said your name. The tide came rolling through, and nothing stayed the same. Salt and almost love on my lips tonight, dancing on the dock in the harbor light. You were close enough to pull me in, but almost love is where I've always been. The seagulls call above the cedar trees. Your laughter skips like stones across the bay. I caught your eye between the salty breeze and watched you slowly turn and walk away. The water holds no grudge, the sky forgets your face, but I still feel the nudge of almost finding grace. Salt and almost love on my lips tonight, dancing on the dock in the harbor light. You were close enough to pull me in, but almost love is where I've always been. Maybe this is just the season talking. Maybe spring makes fools of everyone. I'll keep along the harbor walking, chasing your shadow till the summer's done. The boats go out and the boats come in. The salt still lingers on my skin. Salt and almost love on my lips tonight, the harbor glowing in the golden light. You were never mine to hold or keep, but almost love runs beautifully deep.
Tide came in and pulled me to the shore. I dropped my bag and kicked my shoes away. The waves kept asking what I'm looking for. I laughed and said I'd figure out today. No map, no name, no plan to chase, just salt and wind and open space. I follow the tide instead, let the current clear my head. No more holding what is gone, let the ocean carry on. I follow the tide instead, chase the waves until they spread, and the shore became my song, where I finally belong. The sun burns low and paints the water gold. I spin around with both my arms stretched wide. I'm done with every story I've been told. There's nothing left to lose on this wild ride. The sand is warm beneath my feet.
showed up late, a little lost, still counting every line we crossed. The trail turned pink before my eyes. The maples wore their spring disguise. The whole park moved like it rehearsed. The petals fell, the buds dispersed. I checked your name, put down my phone. The season knew I felt alone. The maple blushed before I could turn red the way I wish I would. The world moved on, the spring ran free, and you were everywhere but me. I sat down on a wooden bench, still caught inside that frozen trench. The joggers passed, the kids ran by. I watched the clouds forget to cry. I could have called, I almost did, but swallowed it the way I hid. The wind picked up my hoodie's thin. Spring got out, I stayed locked in. The maple blushed before I could turn red the way I wish I would. The world moved on, the spring ran free, and you were everywhere but me. I stopped pretending I was fine, somewhere between the oak and pine. The maple knew it all along, that I'd been faking being strong. The maple blushed before I could turn red the way I wish I would. The world moved on, the spring ran free, and I was finally just me.
Packed my fresh start attitude and laced my boots for Moraine Lake. The kind of brave that's almost rude, performing calm for my own sake.
A duck glided by without a care. I've practiced that look, but it's never there. The cold crept in at altitude, and all my calm came out unglued. Still waters, restless me, I came here cool, I'm melting fast. The lake won't move, I can agree, that stillness ever really lasts. Tap, tap, the beat won't quit. My heart's not built for sitting still. Still waters, I'll admit, this restless thing is part of the thrill.
I turned my phone to silent mode, declared this moment healing time.
Released 1/3 of what I'd stowed.
The lake kept holding its perfect rhyme.
watched each ripple lose its race and smooth itself to silver grace. The water doesn't hold a score. I never learned to do that before. Still waters, restless me. I came here cool, I'm melting fast. The lake won't move, I can agree. That stillness ever really lasts. Tap, tap, the beat won't quit. My heart's not built for sitting still. Still waters, I'll admit. This restless thing is part of the thrill.
Maybe this is what spring does.
Softens what I kept on ice.
Maybe restless is because
something good is worth the price.
the lake is moving
Just below,
too quiet for the eye to catch.
and I've been learning soft and slow
That still and restless always match.
Still waters, restless me. I came here cool, I'm melting fast. The lake won't move, I can agree. That stillness ever really lasts. Tap, tap, the beat won't quit. My heart's not built for sitting still. Still waters, I'll admit. This restless thing, it suits me still. The mountain kept its silence like a shrine, while frosted edges thawed along the slope. I ordered coffee meant for two, not mine, and held the cup like it was someone's hope. I've got no name to call into this air, no hand to reach for, no one standing there. Nowhere to put this feeling in my chest, nowhere to lay this longing down to rest. The bloom is too much beauty for just one. Nowhere to put this feeling, now you're gone.
The village square was filling up with light. A busker played a song I used to know. I almost turned to you, then lost the right to miss you like the last light of the snow.
The tulips lean toward warmth they'll never keep, and I keep holding what won't let me sleep. Nowhere to put this feeling in my chest, nowhere to lay this longing down to rest. The bloom is too much beauty for just one. Nowhere to put this feeling, now you're gone.
I've walked the trails where no one said your name.
The pines don't ask me why I never came.
Back when it mattered,
Back when we were whole. Now spring just fills the cracks inside my soul. Nowhere to put this feeling in my chest. Nowhere to lay this longing down to rest. The bloom is too much beauty for just one. Nowhere to put this feeling, now you're gone. Nowhere to put this feeling, now you're gone. The canyon splits the morning sky. Cold water carves the stone below. I follow where the swallows fly through limestone bathed in amber glow. I breathed your name into the deep. The walls returned it clear and low. Some sounds the canyon has to keep. Some loves refuse to let you go. Your echo in the canyon still rings louder than the falls. I'm standing at the edge until your voice comes through these walls. The mist hangs low above the creek, white birches reaching for the light. The trail grows narrow as I seek the upper falls beyond my sight. I pressed my hand against the rock and felt the pulse beneath the stone. The canyon doesn't own a clock, but keeps what should not be alone. Your echo in the canyon still rings louder than the falls. I'm standing at the edge until your voice comes through these walls. Maybe the canyon understands what words were never meant to last. I trace your name in river sands and let the current take the past. Your echo